know, a year or so ago, Michael and I had the opportunity to go to Europe, and it was so great. It was my first and only trip. So today, I'm gonna be bringing a taste of Europe to you with Wiener Schnitzel, which is just a delicious breaded veal cutlet. And then spicy Spanish chicken and sausage paella. And then I'm gonna be whipping up a Tuscan Carbonara. And finally, sweet chocolate crepes. So go in there, pack your bags, cause Paula's gonna be taking you to Europe. For this first dish, I'm gonna tap into my German heritage. I'm gonna be making us a Wiener Schnitzel. It literally means a breaded veal cutlet. And to ensure that my Wiener Schnitzel turns out real crispy, I'm gonna just take a paper towel and get any moisture off of our meat that might be there. So I've probably got 1/4 of an inch of vegetable oil heating up here in our skillet. Now in this bowl, I'm gonna add 1 cup of flour, and that doesn't have to be perfect because it's just for coating. All right, so I'm gonna crack 2 eggs. I'm checking them one at a time as I go, and I'm gonna beat those up. And I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of water to our eggs. And in this bowl, I've got 2 cups of plain breadcrumbs, and I'm using a store-bought breadcrumb, but you can certainly, you know, make your own fresh breadcrumbs. All right, now I'm just gonna salt and pepper our veal. I'm gonna run it through the flour and then into the egg, making sure that's wet. And then the last step is into our breadcrumbs. Very, very simple, y'all. We've got all of our pieces nice and coated. You know, I would think, since this meat is so thin, that this has got to be a dietetic dish, wouldn't you? Surely it's not thick enough to be fattening. Okay, so this is our last piece. All right. Now I had to just wash the goop off my hands for a second. And while my hands are damp, I'm just gonna shake a little water into my oil and make sure it's hot enough. So let's slip this in and see. Oh yeah, I think that's like just perfect as far as the temperature goes. And in that hot oil goes our veal. So there we go. And you can see I've got enough oil in the pan to cover the top of our veal. Ooh-wee. You want to see? Did you see it? It looks delicious. So this is really a very quick entree. And down here, I've got a poppy seed noodle that I'm gonna serve my Wiener Schnitzel on top of. Okie doke. So look at this. Now I'm gonna just drain it real quickly on some paper towels just to absorb a little bit of that grease. Doesn't that look like fabulosus? Let's pop down here and give this a little taste. I love noodles. I think everybody probably loves pasta, don't they? All right, so I'm not even gonna need a knife because that veal is so tender. Oops. Mmm. Mmm. Mmm, yum. That is so good, so tender, and so flavorful. I think you're gonna just love this. Up next, I'm gonna be making a chicken and sausage paella. We're going to Spain. And later, I'm making a Tuscan Carbonara and chocolate French crepes, y'all.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
Hey, y'all. Today, I'm revisiting Europe to some places that I didn't get to go when Michael and I went on that lovely trip to London and Paris. Well, I told you before we went on break that I was gonna be making us up today a dish that originated in Spain, and it's called chicken and sausage paella. Very humble dish using chicken, sausage, rice, a little saffron, and canned tomatoes. All right, now y'all, I'm just gonna finish searing off my chicken, and I've seasoned the chicken with paprika and salt and pepper. So while our chicken is searing, I'm just over here finishing up our vegetables, which is just onions and bell pepper. Right, so I'm just gonna finish dicing those up. All right, now your chicken doesn't have to be completely done because it's got some more cooking to do. So I'm gonna take this out, take our chicken out, and I'm using a nice heavy piece of my cast iron to do this in. All right, now I'm just gonna scoop my bell peppers and my onions over into my pan and let that saute until it's soft. And it's picking up those flavors that the chicken left in our pan. So now I'm gonna add a 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes. And I'm gonna give that a stir. And then I'm gonna add our chicken broth because we're gonna add rice, and naturally rice requires a wet ingredient. So I'm gonna add 4 cups of chicken broth to our pan. All right, so we're gonna put in our chorizo sausage. This is a Spanish sausage. You can also get Mexican chorizo, you can get Portuguese, and so on. But the sausage that we're using originated in Spain. And it's made with a smoky paprika, which gives this sausage a lot of flavor. All right, now we're gonna add our rice. And the rice that I have here is called a Boreo rice. And you can find this at the grocery store. And this is a short fatter grain, which means this rice is gonna really absorb a lot of our liquid, and that's gonna result in a lot more flavor. You can substitute, but you know, give this rice a try. It's really quite delicious. Now I'm gonna measure out 2 cups of our rice. And I've got one more ingredient here left to go in. And this ingredient is saffron. Now I'm gonna use a pinch of this, and I'm gonna kind of quickly tell you the story of why this is so expensive. There is a purple flower that is grown in Spain. The women in the village pick these beautiful purple flowers, and they put them in sacks, and they take them back to the village, and they dump these sacks out, giving them just mounds and mounds of these beautiful purple flowers. And by hand, they go into the center of this flower, and they remove this saffron from the very center. And after they get through removing the saffron from the flowers, the children play in all these beautiful flowers. And I've never seen it firsthand, but they say it is a beautiful, beautiful sight. So, our dish is looking good. Now, I'm just gonna add back our chicken. And I'm gonna take that little bit of fat that drained off our chicken, and I'm gonna make sure that gets back in our pot, because fat equals flavor. In 20 minutes, this will be ready. And when we come back, we're moving on east, y'all. We're going to Italy. And I'm gonna be preparing for us a Tuscan Carbonara. And later, chocolate French crepes, y'all.
I hope y'all are enjoying the show, and I want to hear from you. Tell me what recipes or videos you'd like to see me make by just leaving a short comment below. Now, let's get back to the show, y'all.
Hey, y'all, welcome back. We're still in Spain. Our chicken and sausage paella is ready. Now I'm gonna add a cup of green peas. I'm gonna just stir those peas into that hot rice and sausage and chicken, and it won't take them but like 5 or so minutes. Ooh, and I got me a plate ready here, y'all. I have thought several times while I was making this that this surely must be considered one of those yummy comfort foods that you would find in Spain. So let's give it a taste. Mmm. It's so good, but yet so simple. All right, so come on over here. Now we're going to Italy. I've got some pancetta that I've had sauteing here. And pancetta is like pork belly, y'all. I'm gonna add like 1 kind of medium-sized whole onion. There we go. The pancetta's ready. So let's just go in with our onions into our pancetta. Saute those off. Now this dish got its name because the word carbonara, it's Italian for charcoal. And they say that the workers who worked in charcoal would come home and make this dish at night because it was one of those economical, easy, and quick meals that they could put together. So in this pot, I've got 1 pound box of spaghetti that I've cooked off. All right, so I'm just gonna sit that over there and let that drain. And here, let me move this pot out of the way so y'all can get in here into our skillet and see our carbonara as I'm putting it together. All right, I've got 5 egg yolks. I separated these eggs earlier, and I'm gonna give them a quick beat. And to our eggs, I'm gonna add 1/4 of a cup of heavy cream. And we're gonna mix our yolks and our heavy cream together. And I've got some Parmigiana Reggiana cheese. Let's just call them Parm and Reg, you know, since we're on a first name basis. And I'm gonna need a cup of this. And I think that I've got a cup here already grated. So I'm just gonna quit before I cut my hands on my grater. Now I'm gonna add our cheese to our eggs and our heavy cream. I'm gonna add a little salt and just a little black pepper. But when I get our dish together, I'm really gonna top it with a heavy hand. All right. We're gonna take our noodles that I've had draining over here in the sink, and I'm just gonna add those drained noodles to the pancetta and onions. And I really wanna get that tossed in so that that pasta can soak up that fat from our pancetta. Now, into our spaghetti, we are gonna pour our Parm Reg cheese. This got our heavy cream in it, our 5 egg yolks, and a little salt and pepper. So there we go. And just that quickly, y'all, we have this meal pulled together. Doesn't that look yummy? I can't get over, y'all. This is much how we make our macaroni and cheese down south. You know, we make it with eggs and cream. Oh, it looks so good. Now, we're gonna come in here with a heavy hand. Okay. All right, let's dig in here. Mmm. Mmm. Woo-wee! That black pepper, I mean, it kicks it, y'all. Woo! Listen, keep your travel shoes on because we're going to France. We're gonna be cooking up some crepes.
I so hope y'all are enjoying the show. And if you do, be sure to click like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll never miss a video. And we'll be right back after the break.
You ready for us to finish up our trip today in Europe? Our last stop is Paris. I'm fixing to make our crepe batter. I've got 3 eggs that are gonna go into our crepes. All right, now I'm gonna take my whisk. Okay, so there we go. I'm gonna put a pinch of salt, 3/4 of a cup all-purpose flour, I'm making a chocolate crepe for us today. So 2 tablespoons of cocoa. Now don't worry, a little lumps won't hurt a thing. Now I'm gonna whisk in 6 tablespoons of melted butter. You know these are gonna be delicious. Now I'm gonna add 1 1/3 cup of milk. Now I'm gonna let this batter sit for about 20 minutes. I've already got some that's been sitting out about 20 minutes. Our batter, you can see, is very, very thin. Now I've got my pan here over medium heat, and I'm gonna brush that with a little butter, and I'm gonna pour in 1/4 of a cup of batter, immediately spreading our batter in our pan. And this doesn't take but just a minute. I'm using a Teflon pan, so I have no worry of our crepe sticking. A little bit more on that side, and our crepe will be ready. All right, there we go. Look at that beautiful crepe. This worked out perfectly. All right, now let's bring our crepes on down here. I think I'm definitely gonna just smear a little butter. A little powdered sugar with our hazelnut sauce. I think I might like a few strawberries in there. Maybe a few bananas too. All right, now I'm gonna fold my crepe up with a little extra powdered sugar. I'm gonna come in, I think maybe just a wee bit of chocolate sauce. All right, now I think I'm gonna top it with a little cream, a pretty little cherry, grated white chocolate, some few pretty little peanuts. I forgot my vegetable, y'all. Great time of day. What am I thinking?
Hey, y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if y'all enjoyed this week's full episode Friday, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, friends.